They are ridiculous.
Yeah, man. Sweet. Sorry I didn't spend the extra $7,000 now.
Hey, welcome to the Ozzstar channel. Today I want to share with you my experience that I had out at Ron Fellows Performance Driving School. As you can see the Corvette over there, I've actually got my Corvette stuff on. My Ron Fellows swag. My lovely wife, Mrs. Ozzstar, bought me this shirt. She actually came out there and shot some footage, so you guys will get to see, the cars out on the track while I was in the car. And I just want to tell you guys how it, how it all worked for me. It is a fantastic experience. I'm not paid to do the video or anything. I just want to let you know how it goes if you ever decide to go out there, whether you own a Corvette or not. And the program that GM offers and combined with the Ron Fellows School. Basically, it's a 2-day Corvette owner school, and you learn a lot. You've got in-classroom, you've got on-track. So, you're 20 minutes, 40 minutes in the classroom, 20 minutes, half hour, what have you, out on the track. So it's like that all day long for 2 days. You do get an hour lunch, so there's a facility there. It's basically, there's a pool, there's a hot tub, there's a little country club kind of setup. There are condos there. I'll explain that in a second. There's a little lake. I mean, it's a really nice setup, like a little oasis out in the middle of the desert, about 50-minute drive outside of Las Vegas, Pahrump, Nevada. If you're there, you got to check out Mom's Diner. I'm just telling you, if you like homemade food, that's a great little place to eat. Hopefully you'll get there someday, especially if you own a Corvette, because the experience to learn how to drive your car is what makes this extra special. So what you do is basically the way it's set up. Let's say you go, and this is for new cars. You're buying. Well, this is March 2019. You buy a brand new 19 or even a leftover brand new 18. You're entitled to this deal through General Motors. Now you can pay. It's $2,500 for a Stingray. It's $3,400, I believe. Let me double check. $3,700 for the Z06, or if you have a Grand Sport for the 2 days. But here's the deal: GM subsidizes it. So if you buy a new Corvette, what they'll do is it's $1,000 and you get the 2-day school. So basically that's how it works. So it's a really nice feature if you can take advantage of it. It's fantastic. Of course, you got to fly out there, and I'll tell you what I did. I checked in. I got there. It was on a Sunday evening. I was in Vegas for SEMA. You don't know, but I'm telling you, I was there. So I drove out there, stayed Sunday night, got up bright and early, bushy-tailed, bright-eyed, all that good stuff. Monday morning, checked in, went to driver's school all day Monday. You stay at the condo on the facility. They have condos there, like lodges, I guess you could call them. And then all day Tuesday, raced that day. And then Tuesday evening, went back to Vegas and flew home Wednesday. But anyhow, that's what I did. So anyhow, that's basically how it works. And for $1,000, they cover that. So it's really a neat deal if you get the opportunity to take advantage of it. Now, if you have a ZR1, then it's free. The school is free. If you're lucky or fortunate enough to get one of those bad boys, you get to go to school free there. They also have the CTS Vs. I saw the Cadillacs. If you have a V model, they have, I'm not sure exactly the pricing for that, but you can always check on their website. And of course, I'll leave that information down below. You can check them out there. So anyway, I just want to share this video with you about my time there and what I learned. What's really cool is, so I'm going to use myself as an example. I have an 18 Corvette Grand Sport. Some of you guys may have seen videos on it here on YouTube. But my point is, and mine's an automatic transmission. Yeah, I did the whole video with the automatic versus the manual. But here's my point. Let's say you have an 18 Grand Sport automatic. Well, you get set up over there. You call in. By the way, the personnel are fantastic. They answered all my questions. I didn't have any issues there. No goofing around. And you get a Corvette. You get to drive a Corvette Grand Sport automatic. If you wanted to drive a Stingray, you could do that, I guess. Or, if you own a Z06 manual, that's what you're going to drive out there. So you're actually going to learn your car. So you're not using your car, using their car set up pretty much like your car would be set up. So then you really get to learn the performance. And I'm telling you right now, I wasn't even using probably 30% of the performance of my car It's amazing what those cars will do, and hopefully the video that I'm going to show you will set that example. So the way it works is basically it's a 2-day class, right? So the first day, you check in, you're about 20 minutes, a half hour in the classroom, and then you get 20 minutes, a half hour or more probably out on the track. It varies what you're discussing and what you're learning. So it's really cool. So you're out on the track, you're in the class, back and forth, pretty much all day long. You do get lunch. They serve lunch. It's about an hour break for that, so that's nice, and the food was very good. But the thing is here, you learn a lot. So you're learning what you learn in the class, you're actually taking out to the track. Now the instructors all drive the Camaro Super Sports, the 1LE, I believe, and all the owners, of course, have their Corvettes. But you're in packs of maybe, and you'll see in the footage here, I'm going to show you some of this video, 2-3 Corvettes behind the Camaro. So the instructor, what's really neat, and I've never been to racing school before, anything like this, any type of instructional deal, is they can talk to you from their car. So you're out on the track, and you'll see that here, where they're speaking to you. Basically, it's like a CB mic thing that plays through your speakers. So you can hear, and they're actually going to critique you while you're out there, whether you're doing good or bad. Most people out there are beginners, so there's a lot to learn. I'm not going to lie to you. You're going to be nervous. You'll have anxiety. It's not just physical out there. I mean, turning the wheel, and if you have a manual, you're shifting and all that, but it's also a lot mental. It's in your head. It's how much speed you can take, so to speak. They call it racing school, but you're not really racing. There's no passing. You're in single, file. There is a rotation, and you'll see all that where you get, your turn behind the instructor, and basically getting awesome information from them. So they're telling you, for example, are you turning in early, you turning late, you're braking. They know these cars so well. I mean, I'm guilty of it. You should be at the, the 9 and 3, right, on that steering wheel like this. And, none of this stuff like, cruising down the boulevard. You put your hand up like that, somebody's going to say something to you real quick. Ask me how I know. But anyway, you need to be on your game. It's a lot of concentration. And the way it goes is you don't just get out there and go, full throttle, ballistic gonzo out there. You're taking your time, and I'll probably show you here in the video where you're behind an instructor. You start off slow, especially the first day. You're learning a lot of new skills that you probably don't know about. And then the second day, you're picking up your speeds, especially by the end of the day. And I'll definitely show you the footage, the in-car camera footage I have of myself on the second day. It definitely picks up. You've got more confidence, you've got more skill set, obviously, you've got some practice, but I am by no means a race car driver. I feel that I did very well out there, and I had a lot of fun, and I did learn a lot. So you take from it, what you get out of it, basically. Even if you're just on the street, there's examples I'm going to show you here where they teach you how to actually, drive correctly, looking up, and turning at certain points. But my point is, it can make you a better driver on the streets. They show you the ABS system and exactly what it can do in wet conditions. There's a skid pad area. There's what they call the serpentine, and you actually teaches you to look outside your passenger window and your that's my driver's window, passenger window, to actually see where you're going and when to turn. So you're always looking ahead, looking up. That's one of the most important things. And it's kind of cool. I'll show you the footage here where they block off the windshield with one of those like sun visor things that keep the heat off your steering wheel. So you have to look left and right, and that's teaching you to turn in at this certain point.
All right, now he's doing this and has the sunshade covering the windshield so he can only see from side to side.
There's the skid pad, like I just mentioned. get up to 40 miles an hour, full on braking, don't let off, let the ABS kick in. If you don't know ABS, it's an anti-lock brake system. It's going to pulse the brakes so you still maintain control. That's pretty cool, 40 miles an hour. In the video, it looks like I'm doing 10. Also gives you full control to turn out of a situation while you're still on the brakes, so basically your front wheels are not locked up and you're just sliding into whatever you're pointed at. So it still gives you full control. And let me tell you something about this Corvette. It handles amazing. The control is incredible. The stopping is insane. All these cars now have the carbon ceramic brakes on there, so that is a $7,500 upgrade. I don't have it on my Grand Sport. I do have the Brembos, but not the carbon ceramic rotors. They are fantastic. They do stop on a dime and give you the 10 cents change back. But anyway, so you've got that. Then you go over to another skid pad. It's all wet, and you'll see out here in the video. Basically, they want you to trying to lose control. Spin out, go around a turn, accelerate hard, get the back end to come around. There's a weather control on there, like the track, the sport mode. By the way, we were in track mode during the track days there. But you put it in weather mode. And I'll tell you, the computer is basically what's doing it. All these sensors tell the engine to cut power, to brake on this and that, and it's fantastic.
Glen's got really some solid control on that car compared to some of the others I've seen. That's the point of this exercise, is to show how grounded this car is and how it handles. And with the right technique, you can keep in control in these kind of conditions. Yeah, he's barely losing control like some of the others. The others have completely spun out. Oh, he's done. All right. Nice demonstration. A little anticlimactic with no big spin outs, but we don't want anyone to get hurt, so that's good.
And then there's an oval, and I'm going to show you guys the oval. So that basically is like a small round track or oval egg-shaped track where you're learning the turn-ins. You're picking up speed. And the point is to go fast and not spin out and to get control of the car.
All right, now Glen is going to do this shorter track here. He is in the car furthest from us. On the inside of the track there. Number 69.
So there's a lot to learn. Obviously, this is not an instructional video. This is basically letting you know what you would be in for if you actually got to experience this. So I'm going to show you on my screen here exactly what the telemetry is. So as you're watching the video, you'll know what all these little green and red and this and that and the G-force meter and all that, what's doing with what. So you can kind of see where you're on the gas, you're on the brake. Okay, so here's our PDR screen. This is the in-dash camera from the car itself, and I want to just explain to you what's going on here. So that stands for Performance Data Recorder. Anyway, in the black circle here is our gear. So whether you're automatic or manual, right now we're in first gear. this green, these blocks right here, there's black right now, but as you accelerate or step on the gas pedal, these will turn solid green. So down here is minimum, up here is full throttle. Brake is just the same. These will all light up red. The more solid the red here, the more brake pressure. This is our miles per hour. GPS tracking map, I didn't set it unfortunately, but you may see it when I show you the footage with the instructor. There's actually a map will come up of the track, and it shows you where you are on the map or on the track. So that's a neat feature to have. Right over in this area would be your lap times as you go around the track, so it automatically counts that for you. This is our G meter here, or G force meter. So right now I was turning left as I froze the film footage here, but we're about neutral. But as you brake or accelerate, the meter will move. So as you brake, this would go forward, left, right. It's obvious. This is 1.25 Gs is what that shows you as far as the max there. This is our tachometer, so you can see where you are as far as in the revs. Down here is our distance around the track. If you have that track map set, that'll tell you exactly how many miles you went. But I think this counts anyhow, and regardless. Now PTM is our performance track management. That's basically like traction control, and we're in Sport 1, and the drive mode is track. So drive mode, you have track, sport, economy, touring, weather. Anyway, we're in track. You hit ABS twice, it gets you in Sport 1, and there's a lot of different settings on the Corvette. It's got a lot of technology, and that makes things really cool, and it's a lot of fun out there. But anyway, here's our steering angle. So right now it says 172 degrees, and you can see this is kind of lit up blue. Well, I was turning to the left at this point. But when you're going straight, you'll be right here, dead center, and this will say 0 degrees, and that's where you are there. So let me give you a little insight on turning. And, it seems like, well, you just go get in your car and you turn. First of all, you better be at that 9 and 3. That's the most important. None of that stuff. Anyhow, let me give you a couple quick tips that I learned I'm an amateur, like I told you. So, I'm going to tell you what I learned, and basically you have to refine what you know. So anyhow, the most important is the visual effect. So you need to be looking down the track. Even if you're in your car going to the supermarket, you need to look down the road. There can be an obstruction. You need to know where to turn. If you're just staring down, you're not going to see what's coming. You're going to miss it. That's one of the most important, is the visual scanning, and they call it to look and see what's coming up and what's next and where you're going to go. Next thing would be braking. So let's say we're turning. This is turn 1 right here. So I'm going to talk with my hand. So turn 1's here. Turn 2 is like way down the track, somewhere down there. So basically what you got here is you're coming around this turn. This would be the apex, and then you carry on. So when you come up to a turn, you're going to be hard on the brakes, and that's something I had to learn, is hard brake at first and then light brake through the turn. And what that's doing is, and even in your own car or your truck, you hit the brakes hard, that front end is going to dive. And basically when that car or truck dives, the weight is being transferred to the front, and that's called the balance of the car. So if you have more weight on the front, you're going to have better grip. And when you're turning, you want that grip. So you brake hard, and as you're looking, obviously you're still looking up, you're still looking ahead, and you're shooting for that apex. You want to be at that apex, because if you go too far out, too wide, or you turn in too early, it's not going to work good for you. You're going to lose a lot of time, and the speed and everything else. So you want that momentum. So you hard brake, light brake through the turn. That gives you the balance and the control. And you don't, people think racing is like always on the gas, always on the gas. But Josh, one of my instructors, told me, and he was right about it. The brake is the go fast pedal. So if you can get that, and that was something I really never was conscious about, and how important it was and how great it worked for me out on the track. So if you can get that, you're good. While you're braking, and you want to brake hard straight. You don't want to be turning while you're braking hard, because you're going to just slide right off to wherever you're going there. It's not going to work good for you, or you'll lose a lot of time. You downshift, you turn in, it's called. So here we go, we're turning in. You want to turn in, hit that apex. We don't want to be out here, and we don't want to turn in early. So you hit that apex, and as you do, you're balancing the car with the brake, and then you start to what's called unwind. So you want to, your turn like this, you should be at the 12 and 3 on your steering wheel, not doing this. 12 and 3, and as you unwind, you're turning back because you're going to start to straighten out. That's when you start to smoothly, and you got to be smooth on the accelerator, get into it. You can go full throttle once you straighten up, and you're gone. And you set yourself up, for the next turn too, or whatever you're going next. Hopefully not off track. So anyway, that's a little bit about what you're going to see here in the video and what I'm trying to accomplish. So if you don't hit that, you may hear when they come across an apex, the car hitting a rumble strip, that rumble sound. They said those were 6 feet deep. Richie Hearn was, basically gave us a lot of information there in the classroom, and he's saying those were 6 feet from the apex. And if you don't touch that, any of that rumble strip there on the corner, you're already 6 feet out. So here's the apex. If you're not doing this, you're already like way out there, and you know what that means. So anyway, that's the goal, to hit that. So it's like an orchestra, a symphony. You got to get all these things right. And of course, if you're going slow, it's not difficult to do, but as the speeds pick up, it gets much more difficult to do than to say. Let's put it that way. So in this segment, I want to show you guys the first day. It's very slow paced, you've got to learn a lot of things here. And I'm going to show you a clip where I'm behind the instructor and we're out on the track. It's a little bit, it's going to take a little time to go around. Be patient, take a little nap if you find it boring. But anyway, if you're going, it's going to be of interest to you, or you've been there, you might get to relive this. But he'll talk about the turns and where you should be and where you should brake. Basically, it's the fundamentals. And that's the most important thing, is knowing those before you go fast.
All right, over to the right there. David, if you would, please. On through Glen and Bob. 2 cars passing you there, David. All right, looking ahead here, Glen. All of our slowing down is done before we turn, but we're already thinking about how we leave the corner. What are we going to do to leave the corner effectively? So get the car in position at the apex, look ahead to see where you're going next, and accelerate into position. Same thing here. Get the car in position for the corner, get to the apex, and start looking ahead for turn 3. Come out just to the middle of the road here as we accelerate, and back over near the white cone so that we straighten this section of the track up as much as possible, and then brake in a straight line to slow down. All right, carry those light brakes a long way into turn 3. See, my brake lights are still on almost all the way to the apex. Keeps the nose stuck to the ground, lets me get to the curb, and then I can accelerate down the hill because I'm prepared correctly for it. Head over to the right. Braking straight, looking left. Look across the infield. See the curb on the right up there. Get on the curb at 4, but use that to get in position for turn 5. Brake straight, light brakes, light throttle, unwind out. Braking straight, looking left. Remember, follow the road. Follow the road so we're aware of what's going on. The cones are there, and we're aware of them. We're just not focused on them. Right, look ahead. See the road, turn right, then left, then right again. Right, so now we're visualizing our path, using those cones as reference points. Now we're setting up for turn 9. That's all we're doing here, is getting in position so we can accelerate briefly along the right side of the road before we turn left into turn 9. If we don't stay parallel to that right side of the track between 8 and 9, we can't accelerate, so we lose an opportunity. All right, get to the turning cone before you turn. All right, all the way to the outside. Nice. All right, good run there, Glenn. Over to the right, if you would, please. All right, Bob, look for your turn-in point. Look for your apex. Now look ahead now. See where the straightaway is. Yeah, see, you weren't looking up the straightaway, and you were kind of looking at that curve on the outside, and you notice the car went to that curve. That's probably also because you turned in a little early, so make sure we are waiting until we get to the turning cones before we start the corner. All right, that's why they're there. Never turn in before a turning cone. Rule of thumb, never do that.
All right, are we having fun or what? So in this segment, coming up here, I want to show you a little trip I took with one of my instructors. He was driving, I was passenger. We're kind of having fun. You know, there's nothing like doing 80, 90 miles an hour and giggling and laughing while you're doing it. So it's not like it's dangerous or anything, right? So just another day on the job. So anyway, we had some fun. I'm going to show you now what a professional driver can do on the track who has, you know, probably thousands of laps and thousands of days out on the course and can really take the car to the limit. So let's check that out.
Are there any corners in particular that are giving you fits? You want me to kind of focus it on and discuss with you when we're out there?
Like the 8, 9.
Yeah, usually 8 is like a big pain in the ass, honestly. 8, you just got to be prepared that you're going to sacrifice some speed to set up good for 9.
Be patient.
Yeah, in the middle of that corner is when you want to add your additional steering, and if you try to jump throttle when you're doing that, it's going to push you way off the mark.
Right.
You'll come out of turn 8 on the left side, and you've already missed turn 9 pretty much. But these laps help a lot, though, to kind of show some of that stuff.
Cool.
So we're going to be with the car in front of us.
Yeah.
We're going to do 2 laps, so we'll see their brake lights and stuff, then we'll rotate.
Oh, okay.
And kind of watch what we're doing.
All right, great.
So you'll see it from a couple different angles. But one thing people usually notice is the brake pressure that we use.
Yeah,
that's
that's something else I want to get a little bit. I mean, I guess that's what one of the biggest challenges, the braking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I never considered it. Like I said, I never did any kind of track time. So getting my braking more firm in the beginning and trying to lighten it up.
And I'm also going to use the same exact shift points that we're teaching.
Yep.
I'm also in Track Sport 1. I'm trying to think what else I was going to say. But yeah, with the braking, I think I mentioned to a lot of guys yesterday, that is your go fast pedal. Figure out that pedal, and that's what will make you fast.
Yep.
Throttle will take care of
Yeah,
itself.
that was I was trying to think last night what you're saying was.
Yeah. So get ready for that button. I'm going to have
Yep.
you press it when we go up here in the front straight here
Yep.
shortly. So I'm going to wait for those double orange rotation cones.
Right up
Once
here.
you- Yeah,
Yep.
when you give a sign, just go ahead and press it, and you're good. There you go. So I'm going to come off the throttle briefly, braking firm, downshift once, ease off as I turn in, nice and tight. Back on power here through turn number 2. Up the 5th, and then from the white cone, straight shot to the 1. Braking firm, looking right. Ease off as I turn in, light throttle. Now I'm going to accelerate. Try to aim kind of for the beginning of the
Yeah.
exit curving. Then we can just ease it back across to the right. And then downshift to 3rd here. Back on power. You see kind of how smooth it is though? Not like a lot of tire squill or anything like that.
I see it.
And then light braking through here to kind of help steer a little bit more precisely. You got to keep those eyes moving. That's one of the hardest things to do is keep those eyes up. And then turn 8 right here. So you want to stay fairly wide. You can see how Greg's approaching it. Then we're going to add the steering a little bit later. Tight to the right side from start to finish. And then back on power. Now we're going to do a little rotation, and we'll do it again. Love these carbon ceramics, they are ridiculous.
Yeah, man. Sweet. Sorry I didn't spend the extra $7,000 now.
Turn 3 it can be a real pain. It's not the easiest apex to hit, honestly.
Yeah, it's tight.
But if I had to choose one of these to get, it'd probably be a Grand Sport, to be honest with you.
What's that?
If I had to choose one of these to get, it'd probably be a Grand Sport, honestly.
It's fantastic.
I mean, do you really need 650 horsepower on the streets? I think not.
Use it.
How you feel about it? Good stuff?
Feels good. Feels good. So we do this again, or is that it?
That'll be the only one we do.
Oh, okay. I should have
Unfortunately.
had you tell me in the S's when you were braking, like light brake.
Okay.
That's all right. That's my fault.
And
I
it
was
is-
kind of watching your.
And it's a very
Listening.
light brake
Listening,
there
yeah.
too. Just
You really,
enough to know
you
you're
really
pushing
just
the pedal.
bunny hopping through there, man.
It's amazing what these bad boys will do, man. They are so like
You
it's
gotta
just
get one. You don't have one? Come on.
I know,
You get
right?
to drive them for free. That's why you don't have that payment.
I get my thrills and my
Yeah, they
kicks
pay
in
you
now.
to drive this. It's great, man.
So now I want to show you day 2 of the class. This is towards the end of the second day. Confidence is built up, experience, a little bit of experience. Definitely you've got a better skill set. And I want to show you my time out there following the instructor. I believe we did the warm-up lap, which was fun, and then we did 1 or 2 other laps after that. The speed's definitely picked up. So let's check that out and you let me know what you think.
All right, we're headed out for the last session.
All right, take a nice deep breath. Let's get calm and composed. Get that focus up. And yeah, well, like I said, we'll finish off strong. And when they're all together here, have some fun too. All right, here we go. And now, taking a look around here at those references, taking one more peek at those. All the way down the straightaway, thinking about turn number 1. All the way across to that apex now. Looking good through 1 and 2 there, Glen. End up, and that number 1 board. Keep those eyes moving there, Mike. Try to look a little further ahead if you can. Try to look a little further ahead if you can there, Mike. All right, Glen, let's just carry that brake all the way down into 4. They're a little early. Ooh, good job getting it, getting it back on track. Turned in a little bit early, but we didn't make the problem worse by giving throttle. So that's good. All right, you see the curving there, Glen? Get all the way across there, Glen. Glen, let's gather the group a bit. That first one was a warm-up lap, and we kind of got going a little quicker than normal. So I'll still give you a good rundown to turn number 1 there. Let's just slow it for a second. Then I'll give you two flyers. Get those eyes moving, Mike. Move a little further. Look through that corner. Try to look through those curves a little more. Here we go, Glen. Let's pick it up. Alright, so on approach turn 1. You don't have to slow down for me. Glen, I'll move. Alright, turn 2. Lift my head through there. Use that throttle technique. Good, very good. Look down the hill. Good out of 3. You can get on power a little earlier out of 3 though. If you like. There's some banking coming downhill. Good, and turn to number 4. Looking good in turn number 5. Patient with the turn in, return 10. Good. Let's take it around another lap. Alright, eyes up here. Back 9 runs in there. 9 runs in there. Stay on. Moving along, we're going to gather up on the straightaway, so, you know, don't feel like you need to play catch up. Just do your thing. I still see you there. Brake, let it turn. Okay, so that turn in for 10 as well. Hey Glenn, looking good. There you go. Just mind those turn in for 5, but looking good otherwise. Let's do a rotation now. Do a rotation now. Hey Glenn, let's do a rotation now.
Rotation.
All right, so Mike and Greg, just come on up to the left. Hey, Mike, you're going to come on up to the left.
Oh, that was fun,
Greg, come on
guys.
up. Greg or Glenn, you can fall in.
That's good
Here we go,
stuff.
Mike.
Let me tell you about the instructors at Ron Fellows. All top-notch guys, professional. Richie Hearn, who's a professional race car driver, is one of the instructors. Rick Malone heads the thing. There's so many different ones I dealt with there. There's probably at least a dozen instructors, and they were all top-notch. Any questions you have, any concerns, and they're there to help you. Everything was on the professionalism. I mean, there's no goofing around. Everything was on time, and they want you to have a good time, and they want you to learn. The thing is, you just can't go out there and get ballistic crazy and start, thinking you're a race car driver, because you're going to crash, okay? The speeds are tremendous. I don't think watching the video and the editing, I don't think it doesn't give you the sensation of the speeds that you're actually doing, and the G-forces and everything. There is a $10,000 deductible, so if you go off track and there's damage, you're responsible for the first 10 grand. So we'll just leave it at that. Fortunately, the day I went, I had about 20 students in my class that I was with, the 2-day deal, and nobody went off track, and nobody had to pay a deductible and do paperwork. So that was a good thing. But you do have to be cautious, and there are places where you can see skid marks where people went off track. I mean, it happens. You've got to stay, basically in your comfort zone. So you got to kind of push yourself a little bit and still be conscious that you don't want to hurt yourself or the car. And that's something to keep in mind. I think I mentioned it earlier, it's not racing, you're not passing, you're not going for a trophy, but I did get a certificate, so that's a good thing. I did pass the class, just so you know.
Next driver, share your experience with you.
Well, that about wraps it up for this video. I had an awesome experience, a great time. I learned a lot. I hope if you haven't been there, you do get a chance to go. And if you have been there, let me know your experience down below, what you thought. Did this video help you relive the moment? Because it is exciting. It's definitely something you don't get to do every day for most of us. It gives you some lessons out on the road as far as safer driving, which is fantastic. There is one little downfall though. While you're out on the track, and the beauty of out on a racetrack, if you've never been out there, is there's no speed limits, no stop signs, just like the song goes. There's no pedestrians walking around. You don't have to worry, so your mind is free and clear to just get on it and do what you can do safely. So, you know, you get home, you get in your car, I don't care what kind of performance car you have, you drive it, you've got to be careful out on the roads. We've got speed limits and stop signs, so keep that in mind. Be smart about it. So thanks for stopping here at the channel. Any questions, comments, suggestions, please leave them down below. Let me know your experiences if you've been there. And other than that, I'm going to see you guys on the next video. Take it easy.